Rubber is one of the agricultural products that Nigeria has been known for. Rubber, which used to be the fourth largest foreign exchange earner for Nigeria after crude oil, has since been neglected by successive governments, despite the fact that rubber plantation is one of the resources that thrive in Nigeria. Nigeria ranks 12th in global production and second in sub-Saharan Africa after Ivory Coast. Let's look at this commodity and some of its potentials. I'm being joined by Temitope Olubile, one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company. Hello.
Hi, Chimeze. Good morning.
All right, your commodities market here, we're looking at let's start with the burning economic issues. And of course, we're expecting the February inflation number to come in. And your team is forecasting that the inflation number will inch up 11.4%.
Yes,
right? So,
so we're expecting the inflation data to be released tomorrow, like you said, and we are projecting 11.4% in February. And this is because of election-driven demand. So in our last survey for February, we saw commodities such as pepper, tomatoes, we saw the prices of such commodities increase. And these are the kind of commodities that consumers typically stock up on, you know, to hedge against any fallout from elections. So that is what we saw. There was election-driven demand, and what made it worse was that the PMI for February, which typically increases in February, it was down. So the trend of PMI in the new year is typically January it falls because of slowdown in economic activities, but February, for at least 3 years, the FBN PMI increases in February, but we didn't see that happen last February. And so we expect, and these are the reasons for our projection of an increase in inflation.
Now that the elections have come and gone, do you expect to see some kind of moderation on the inflation numbers going forward?
So some factors, some things that will be driving inflation. We're slowly entering into the planting season. So elections or not, the planting season typically happens in like March, April, that kind of period. So there will be a reduction in output, and so we expect that to increase, to lead to a further increase in inflation. Yes. All
right, let's look at the commodity in focus, and we're talking about rubber here. This was one of Nigeria's largest foreign exchange earner.
Yes.
After oil.
Yes,
what went wrong?
So definitely it was a major cash crop for us back in the days. We had rubber plantations in Ogun State in the days of Awolowo, but of course, oil came and took our attention away from such cash crops, and now we are barely doing 1% of global output. And what makes rubber interesting is you can use it for different industrial uses. So, of course, one of the largest industrial uses of rubber is tires, but so far we don't even have a tire manufacturing plant in Nigeria. We used to, but now what these companies such as Dunlop do now is that they just import the tires. So you can imagine the kind of pressure on our currency from such. And so what we need to do is we have some listed producers, some listed users rather, like Okomo and Presco, and what they do is that they grow this rubber and they sell it to the industrial users of rubber, and so that opportunity. So if you're interested in doing that, it could boost returns for you. But before that could happen, we need to improve our business environment, because it was a poor business environment that led tire producers like Dunlop and the likes away from Nigeria. So we need to improve that, and also that could improve our investment.
Yeah, we have the major producing states, majorly southern, Nigeria, Ondo, Edo, Ogun, Delta. What can these states actually do to harness this potential they have?
Yeah, so it's the state governments. They need to improve as much as you can, improve the business environment there, because we have the vegetation and the climate for rubber, and that's why these states, they produce it commercially. So except you improve your business environment for investment to come in, you're not going anywhere with that.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Temitope Olubile is one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company.